Hello and welcome to Foundation, a medieval city building simulation. This game is still in its alpha and still very much in development, but today let's have a playthrough and see just how good this game will be. So I have seen this game played by others on YouTube, but I haven't really had a good playthrough myself. Alright, so by the looks of things we start off choosing where we are going to place our initial settlement. So if we look here, we've got these hexagonal land areas, and within that area we can see some stone, some bushes and lots of trees. So they're our three primary resources. Excuse me. So by the looks of things, that first one was pretty good, so let's come over here. Yeah, let's go over here. Alright, so now we need to build our village centre. So, being the village centre, let's place it. Okay, let's see, which way will we expand next? Let's expand this way. So we will place our village centre here. So that gives us our wee people. Here we go. Our villagers all standing around doing nothing right now. We'll chuck our well in here as well. Let's make bang in the middle of the village centre, because that's not inconvenient at all. And we'll assign some builders. So the good thing with this is you can just assign your people jobs and they will go and try and find that job when they can. If they can't, then they will stand around doing nothing. So at the moment I'm just placing our basic production building. So we've got a lumber camp here, obviously in charge of cutting down trees and producing wood for us. Our gatherers camp over here, if I can manage to click on it. Apparently not. Yep, there we go, and they are in charge of gathering berries from our bushes. And our stone cutter camp here, and their job is to, as the name would suggest, cut stone from the stone pile. We will also build a sawmill near the lumber camp. Actually, let's stick it right behind the lumber camp. And when they work at the sawmill, they will turn our raw wood into wooden planks. So if we look here, we've got producers wood. Then if we click on the lumber camp, sorry, the sawmill, if we can click on the sawmill, okay, let's just click on this one here. So you can see there, I was about to point to it with my finger, it produces what's planks in exchange for wood. So our gatherer hut is done now. Now another thing we can do is just click this assign available villages button. Rather than having to click each villager individually, we can just click that and assign them that way. Our lumber camp is done, so we can assign a couple of villagers to that. We'll build a warehouse. Now the warehouse is good for storing resources, so I think it would be fairly central. Maybe here. Oh! Another thing we need to do that I've forgotten to do is paint our extraction zone. So basically this tells our people what they can get resources from. So now the berry worker will go and collect the berries. And if we don't tell our people what to extract, then even if they're assigned to a workplace, they won't actually collect anything. So we'll get rid of the wood around there, and another thing we can do is make that area bigger, and we'll extract all the wood over here as well. Okay, our stone cutter camp is finished. So let's see, do we have, yes, we've still got some villagers unassigned. The junior is our... Another thing we can do is down here in this corner is our villager list. It tells us who we have and what their job is. Another thing we don't quite have built is our market. So we need to select the type of market, so it's going to be a food market. Place where it's going to be, how about right by the... Oh, not quite, let's try that again. There we go, that looks good. And start construction. So our food market sells food, obviously, to our villagers. I don't know why they can't just go and get food themselves, but hey, economies have to work in medieval times as well. And so we have our sawmill getting constructed. We've got our warehouse here waiting for a builder. Our market is being constructed. And our people are going to get water occasionally. Oh no, it's still being constructed, never mind. So it's needing more stone. So what I might do is, because we only have one stone cutter right now, is tell Lewis here, stop being a forager, go, oh, not a woodcutter, a stone cutter. So Lewis now will stop being a forager, and hopefully we'll go and cut stone. Yep, there he goes now. So Lewis off to cut stone. He's got his pickaxe at the ready. They work very hard. So this one here is Baptiste, is carrying some resources in our building. Here's our forager in the berry bushes, collecting lots of berries. And here is a woodcutter. This tree is getting cut down. You can see it wobbling around. Now the cool thing with this is the trees get cut down. It's not an infinite supply of wood. Once the trees are cut down, the trees are cut down. You get no more wood. But later on, if we look in the building area, we have a whole lot of question marks. So these are all things that unlock. As you can see, locked requires 12 surf. At the moment, if we have a look up here, we have 8 newcomers. We've built the market, and so we can get a new tier of unlockables. But for now, let's select berries, and Lily, why don't you? No, you're busy. No, Lily's not doing anything. You can see here, looking to. Oh, never mind. She is now. Emily, what are you doing? Going to fetch resources. Okay. Baptiste, what are you doing? Looking to fill my needs. Okay, go to the market tender. So basically when they say looking to fulfill their needs, it means they have nothing to do. They are idle, looking to fill the job. We've got a new quest to unlock a trade route and get 1 free territory. So up here we've got budget, trade. Okay, so trade routes. Wooden planks. We need 20 of them to unlock this trade route. Can't do that right now. This one we need bread. Can't do that. Oh, look at this. We've been recognized as a settlement, and we've upped residential, as well as our villages as serfs. So, guess what that means? We can now paint a new area, residential zone. So, if we look, which one? Desirability layer, residential. Okay, so it seems like this area here is desirable, and the red area is not so desirable. Well, guess what? Everyone is going in the undesirable area because that is where I want to place you. So it's absolutely free form, there's no grid at all. So you literally just paint, and then the villagers, as you can see there, will start to build their own houses. And I'll just get rid of this area here. So we can leave this path to the well. I don't know if that's necessary, but we'll do it here. So the controls are pretty straightforward. To place your area, you use your left mouse click, and to remove an area, use the right mouse click. Nice and straightforward. Let's just get these trees here, and these ones are already in the extraction zone. So we can turn off this now, we don't need it. So desirability just really increases the status, I guess, of the house. In the green zone it goes up, in the red zone the desirability is low, but at this stage they have no real choice. They have to build where you put them. I'm not really sure if that affects anything in terms of later in the game, but I guess we'll find out later. Let's have a look. What else did we get? Okay, so we have unlocked a tailor's workshop, which produces clothing in exchange for, I'm guessing, is cloth. We've got a sheep farm that produces wool. A weaver's hut, which produces cloth in exchange for wool. And the wooden gate, which we had earlier. Here we go, we've got a forester camp. So I'm guessing they will undo the damage that the woodcutter does. Yep, so we'll get to reforest the area. Good cut back on that global warming early. So what I might do is just tidy this up. It's not really a major thing, but I'm going to make it nice and clean. So as I said earlier, this game is still early access. It's in its alpha and is not yet available on Steam, but it is looking at going to Steam in the first quarter of this year, 2019. And it is gridless. You see, with this freeform tool allowing you to paint where you want, place your buildings where you want. It's not saying, okay, this is your square that you have to build in. If you place a residential zone, the villagers start constructing their own houses. You don't have to say, okay, build house here, 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 here. Hopefully we can get some more villagers eventually. If you're wondering how that works, here we go. We have immigration. So we get villagers into our wee township, or rather our, it's not even a village yet, but enter it. Here we've got another house going up, looks very cool. Around the water. It's a bit of a walk to work, maybe that's why they're complaining that it's undesirable, but exercise is good for you, so they say. We've got our warehouse being built up. Oh, we need a carpenter, so let's turn one of our woodcutters into a carpenter. So, ooh, I'm not sure how to pronounce this one, sorry about that one. Let's just nickname you Kuni. Kuni, you go be a carpenter. Here we go. And we now have a carpenter. Right, well that's the first look anyway. We've got the base structures on their way and getting constructed. But I think this will be it for today. So if you enjoyed this, feel free to join us next time for a little bit more foundation. Thanks for watching.